वॉइस आजकल और मीडियम योर मैसेज.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sahdev for Voice aajKal. Today I have with me Rachel Harker, a Sydney-based clinical psychologist and the founder and CEO of Tribal, a psychology-led dating and friendship app designed to foster meaningful, value-based connections. With a Master of Psychology and professional experience in youth mental health, Rachel has spent her career exploring the science of human connection, both in our social lives and in dating. And today she will share some insights on health-focused initiatives like Dry July. Hi, Rachel. Nice to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Perfect. So, I wanted to start off by talking about Dry July. For those of you who don't know, Dry July is a campaign that encourages individuals to abstain from alcohol for the entire month of July, raising funds for cancer patients and promoting a healthier lifestyle. And for you, Rachel, this was an amazing starting point, and that's what led you to create Tribal. So, I wanted to know, you said that Dry July can be more than just a temporary reset, it's often a wake up call. So, I wanted to ask, did you participate in Dry July? If so, what were your key takeaways from the experience personally and professionally?
I actually didn't participate this year, but I have in
Okay.
previous years, and I always give myself resets throughout the year. However, Dry July is definitely the most powerful reset you can give.
Mm-hmm.
Giving yourself a chance just to hit pause and reset can be so powerful. The physical and mental health benefits of having a break from alcohol is quite amazing. It can give you mental clarity, better sleep, but in a professional sense, it's just a really stark reminder of how embedded alcohol is in socializing and in our culture, especially here in Australia. And just a good reminder that we need to have those safe spaces for people to connect away from alcohol.
Yes, I do agree. I think many of our social interactions is focused with alcohol, and I think we feel like we need to socialize with alcohol because everybody's doing it. So I think there is a big culture of not feeling left out and wanting to partake. So how do you think we can foster a more positive experience or culture around normalizing social interactions without alcohol, especially amongst young adults?
Yeah, we need to provide safe spaces for them and also to educate them that it's okay to feel anxious in certain social situations. Often alcohol is used as a social lubricant in these situations. If we educate young adults that it's okay to feel anxious going into this situation and provide them with tools and resources to work through that anxiety, that's going to help them feel more comfortable not relying on alcohol, and also just to normalize it for them. And it's really great to see the rise in non-alcoholic beverages available across pubs and bars almost everywhere now, which is so amazing because that's really just going to further reinforce that it's okay not to drink and normalize it. And I think we need to model that for the younger generations as well.
Absolutely. Yes. So let's talk about your journey with clinical psychology. And I wanted to know what inspired you to merge psychology with tech, and how did the idea for Tribal come about?
Yeah, so I've worked in clinical psychology for a little over a decade now, predominantly in youth mental health. So young adults was the age range that I particularly loved working with, and something that I was seeing so much of with young people coming through the clinic I worked in was the rise of loneliness and disconnection. Digitally, they're the most connected generation, but they're lonelier than any generation before them. And that just highlights that there's something has gone wrong with technology and it's meant to bring people together, but it's actually creating issues in terms of social disconnection, loneliness, and mental health. So I took a step back and thought there's got to be a better way to bring people together using technology and to reimagine how humans connect online. And that's where the idea of Tribal was born, to really bring together social wellness, psychology, and technology and create a platform where people can connect based on values and compatibility.
Yes, that's amazing because at the moment there are a lot of other dating apps available, but I think there's a very different focus to what you're talking about, like looking at a deeper meaning with the experience that you have with clinical psychology. So I wanted to know, there's a specific feature that is available with your app. It's called No Face Reveals for 72 hours. Tell me more about this feature. How did you come up with it? Why specifically 72 hours? Is there science or psychology behind the time frame?
Yes, the 72-hour photo blur is one of the features I'm most passionate about. There's so much research that has shown the current dating and social platforms that are so reliant on swipe culture and photos has really had a negative impact on body image, mental health, and just how people view relationships as much more transactional than they used to. And a lot of all these research articles were saying we need to reduce the emphasis on appearance. So we really did a deep dive into the research and thought, how can we connect people online and take that advice on board? And having that 72-hour photo blur just allows users to connect on a much more deeper level before appearance bias kicks in. So users connect on personality, values, compatibility, and gives people a chance to form that much deeper bond. The reason we went with 72 hours was because it's enough time to give people a chance to connect, but short enough that the momentum is still going.
Yes, that's really important. And I believe that users can still communicate via voice, right?
Yes.
Until the face is still blurred.
Yes, that's right. And that's something we're passionate about, making sure we included it, because that's part of the overall kind of holistic compatibility that we're so passionate about. So you can hear someone's voice, you can have phone calls on the app before the photos are revealed.
And could you share some of the dating prompts or prompts for friendships that you feel are different than other dating apps out there?
Yes, absolutely. So something we're really passionate about is helping our users connect on a much more deeper level from day one. So instead of generic questions like, who would be your ideal dinner date? Our questions go a little bit deeper. So it could be questions such as, what do you wish people understood about you more? Or where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or how do you cope when you're feeling overwhelmed? Just to get to that deeper level from day one, we also really encourage users to ask questions about the tribal map and the questionnaire that you complete when you sign up, because that covers questions across different categories like family, career, physical health, relationships, and they're great prompts to talk to a match about to help form that bond and see how compatible you might be.
That's amazing, because I think that's what a lot of people find difficulty with, is that they might match people that might have similar interests, but their core values may be significantly very different. So I think that's amazing. What new features can users expect?
Yes, we're working on a few exciting things. So in the coming weeks, in the friendship arm of Tribal, we'll be launching our community circles. So that's a chance for people to connect beyond just the one-on-one individual conversations. There'll be support groups where we'll connect based on like-minded interest or new to town foodies, so special kind of interest groups to help support connection beyond that one-on-one chat and build that community. And with that, we'll be rolling out some community events as well. Whilst I'm so passionate about bringing people together online, I also am equally passionate about getting them offline as well and having that social connection and that community space for people to form those connections and those bonds. Something else we're working on across both platforms, the dating and the friendship, is just enhancing the lifestyle compatibility component of it. So right now people are connected on values and compatibility, and we've got a few secret things going with lifestyle, which I'm excited to introduce.
Okay, sounds exciting. So I wanted to know all these things that we're talking about, the current dating climate. What are your insights on the current mindset around dating culture, like swiping fatigue and ghosting?
Yeah, people are just so sick of swipe culture. They've really realised how detrimental it is. A lot of the current dating and social platforms are all around gamification, dopamine hits and superficiality. And whilst that creates a mass market and engagement, it offers little in the way of quality and deep connection. And people want that now. They've realised the detrimental effects of what that has provided, and they're standing up and saying we want something different. There's really solid research that's come out of universities now that have looked at the detrimental effects of dating apps on body image and mental health, and all the outcomes of those studies are saying we need more depth and connection. And that's what Tribal has brought in, an authentic platform for people to connect in a much deeper way.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think there is a toxic swiping culture or just dating fatigue where you're on the apps, you're off the apps. And I think there's a lack of community around people, so they feel forced to go on these apps. But I think an app like Tribal will really change, how we feel about dating apps. And what do you think is like the biggest contributor to this shift?
I think people are seeing the impact of it, and it's almost like they've woken up and got that insight, and they're saying, hold on, I'm lonely, I'm disconnected, it's difficult to meet people in person, and they've put the two and two together and realized swipe culture actually, whilst it brought a mass amount of people together, it offered little in the way of real connection.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, how many users are on the app?
So we've reached our first few thousand users, which is a really exciting milestone for a new and early app. However, a big focus of Tribal at the moment is to grow our user base, increase brand awareness, and just reach a wider audience.
Mm-hmm. And in what ways are you trying to widen the audience?
We're trying to reach different pockets of communities that might not be aware of Tribal just yet, to say we're for everyone across the board. Even though I've spoken a little bit about young adults, we're also 18 plus. So any adult that is wanting a friend, a partner, or just someone who gets it, where Tribal is for them.
That's amazing. What more exciting things might you want to share that might get people to get on Tribal? If they feel like, oh, is it another dating app? Is it another, I'm gonna get on there. Like, what might else you'd like to share that might excite people?
Yeah. Great question. I would love for people to know that we are a platform that puts user wellbeing first, and that is the whole foundation of our brand and our values. That user wellbeing is at the forefront and will always be at the forefront. We're grounded in evidence, and we're psychology backed, and we are connecting people based on values and compatibility and key factors that determine long-term success for friendships or relationships. And our passion is just helping people connect and find their person, whether that's friend, partner, or just someone that gets it.
That's amazing. And will people be able to find some of the information or the evidence? Is that available on the website, or will that be available on your social media?
Yes, so our social media has lots of information about the psychology behind the app and the evidence that we're using. You can also check out our website, and Tribal is now on both app stores as well, so you can find it through there.
Amazing. And lastly, if you wanted to give the youth or young adults a message, what message would you like to give them and why?
I would love the youth of Australia to know that there are ways to use technology in a positive way to find your people and build connection. And I know for a lot of you that is hard growing up on social media and behind a screen, but we can leverage technology in that positive way. Find your tribe, find your people, but also get offline as well and find community events to build those in-person communities and your tribe, and Tribal can help you do that.
Amazing. Thank you, Rachel, for that. And I'm so excited for what's coming next for Tribal.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. This is Shreya Sahdev signing off for Voice aajKal, our medium, your message.
VG Times. Be with the times.